And you just heard Tim Hardin with the track "It'll Never Happen Again." We opened up the show today with the track "She Came and She Touched Me" by Towns Van Zandt, by his, I believe his late '60s or early '70s album "Our Mother the Mountain." I really like that era of country music. I mean, I might just say it's like the modern poppy sound of country. I think it's kind of like very washed, very commercially uh, focused. So it's not really anything of substance, I'd say. But I was listening to a lot of Towns Van Zandt over the weekend, mainly when doing my what's it called? Doing some homework for my stats course. And while it did take me longer to finish my homework, it actually made me feel very relaxed, which I'll take that. You know, I mean, there's some wins, there's some losses, some benefits, there's some loses. What's whatever. And then yeah, I mean, listen to the track "It'll Never Happen Again." It's Day by Tim Hardin. I think I remember first hearing that track. I was once cleaning at work, and I had my headphones on, and I forgot what radio station I was using. Which radio station was tuned into? I was listening to some radio station out of California, and they just played that. It kind of stopped me in my step. The most meaningful time I ever had while mopping the restrooms. But you know what? I'll take that. Good afternoon, listeners. Coffee Noise. I'm your host, DJ Marlin. If you can't believe it, it's Wednesday once again. How are we doing out there, listeners? It is the 29th of October, 2025. It is almost Halloween. What are y'all going to do? I'm going to be at work dealing with annoying children and annoying parents. So I look forward to that. But it's whatever it is. It's actually kind of fresh. A cold front apparently came in last night. I use cold front very, broadly, in large quotations. When I came in, I park at zone 1 because I'm not paying that much for zone 2. A lot more parking spots are open. I really don't. I really hope students do not just skip school because it's a little fresh. It's like 70 degrees outside. Just put on like a very light sweater. It's a very calm weather outside, and I really like it. It's starting to feel like fall now, listeners. How long will it last? I don't know, maybe a week or two. But you know what? I'll take that than living in 100-degree type weather. Not that fun living in Texas. All the heat. Although, in our defense, we do have the beach, which is cleaner than Corpus Christi. Objectively speaking, it's not even up for debate. Our beach is far cleaner than Corpus. How long it's going to stay like that? Well, we have yet to see that. But anyways, let's try to enjoy what we have for right now. For this show, I don't know. I kind of want to do something not full on Halloween themed, but there's a bit more. I don't know. It's a bit more calmer than other shows I've had. I don't know what I'm saying. I don't know. Anyways, listeners, we're going to talk about the next track we're going to be playing. It's going to be the track TNT by Tortoise off their 90s album. It was called TNT if you're into like post-rock music, post-jazz. I think I like it. And speaking of which, my professor that I worked under for my P-Wall program, Dr. Wester, really enjoyed Tortoise. So that was kind of cool to know. I kind of like the idea of like trying to get, if I became a teacher, of trying to get students into different types of music. I mean, I have nothing against like mainstream music, but I feel like it's time for people to listen to something different and new. You know what I'm saying? I mean, yeah, you have Spotify, but let's be honest, like you put on your Spotify weekly or your Apple Music weekly, you're not really listening to anything new. The algorithms can only go so far. The only way to actually discover new music if you actually put in the work of finding new music, or you go into independent radio stations and whatnot. So yeah. In other words, keep listening to Vaquero Radio, support local independent radio stations, listen to different types of music, and support your favorite independent artists. And also, enjoy peanut butter sandwiches. I've been having a strong hankering for one, but I haven't gotten around to because I don't have any peanut butter at home. I do like that very natural stuff. The one that has like, the oil in it, it's really good. But it's also kind of expensive, so not really my thing. Anyway, let's just get into the track right now. This is Tortoise with the track TNT. And that was Tortoise with the track TNT. It's kind of this mix of like post-rock genre. I'm a big fan of the post-rock genre. I don't have this album on my physical collection, neither in vinyl or CD, so I do definitely want to get it. I think there's actually a new Tortoise album that just is about to come out in a few weeks. I'm definitely going to check that out. I do have a few post rock albums in my collection. One of my grails I have is Hex by Bark Psychosis. It was their debut album. I think it came out in the 90s. Well, it did come out in the 90s. I think it was like early 90s, 95, I think, or 94. That was the album actually a reviewer coined the term post rock in. Simon, I believe. Simon something, but I forgot the name top of my head. I have that. I have a few Swans albums now. I do eventually want to get To Be Kind on vinyl. More just out in my corner of the room. And I also do have, what's the Swans album that I do have? I do want to get Soundtracks for the Blind on vinyl. I know it came reissued already. I have it on CD, signed by Michael Giroir himself, but I think having the vinyl in my room would be kind of like a nice touch. And there's another post rock album I have. Oh, no, remember. I have the two Godspeed You Black Emperor albums. I have Lift Your Skinny Fist Like Antennas to Heaven, as well as Yankee UXO, which is one of my favorite albums of all time. I think it's a 5 out of 5 record. I do want to get Alleluia Don't Bend Ascend on vinyl, but it's very difficult for me to decide which one's the better album of the two discographies. Is it going to be Yankee UXO or Alleluia Don't Bend Ascend? I want to say Alleluia Don't Bend Ascend because it has that track Mladic, which is very strong. It's almost like a very harsh noise sound. But then Yankee UXO, you do have them very long tracks. You have that cut up secret track of George Bush talking, which I think adds a bit more of a sound to it. Also, think Yankee UXO seems a bit more story driven. Where am I going with this? I don't know. I think I just need to go buy some new records. Do I get more Aphex Twin in my collection? I only have Selected Ambient Works 2 on vinyl, and I think I have. I used to have the Window Liquor EP on CD, but I sold that. Looking back on that, I don't know why I sold it. I could have made good money on that. Well, you learn from your mistakes, listeners. So don't do what I do. Don't be selling your collectible musics. Yeah, not my best. Anyways, listeners, we're going to do the next few tracks right now. We're going to be listening to Secret Friends by Swans off the album Soundtracks to Blind. We're listening to Migration Patterns by Home Is Where from the new album Hunting Season, if you're into their earlier discography or even into just the whole Midwestern emo genre. Or even more like outlaw country or old school country. I appreciate like Home Is Where. I think The Wailer is louder, while Hunting Season is much more of a calmer sound, whatever. And then Soundtracks to the Blind is a difficult album to get into. It's only 2.5 hours long, the album, but it feels like a fever dream, especially the longer tracks. It's definitely not as long as the other albums. Actually, I think it's still their longest album. The trilogy only went for like 2 hours each album, with one of the main songs being like close to 40 minutes long. I think it was on To Be Kind with a Toussaint Louverture or something like that. Half of the show already. Let's see, top of my mind, I registered for classes for next semester. I'm not looking forward to it. I'm basically going to be with the same professor in the same room for 5 hours straight. I'm having a class in Brownsville at the Sable Hall, or Sable, I don't know how you pronounce it. I have one class from 5 to 7:30, and then I have the same professor, same class, classroom, different class, 7:55 to 10:25. So I'm basically going to be there for 5 hours straight. I'm not against it. I have taken late night classes before, and I actually do like the Brownsville campus slightly more than the Edinburgh campus. I know this might be sacrilegious for some people. It's just much more walkable. I'm sorry, but like, there's nothing really to do here in Edinburgh. Oh yeah, I can go to the Walmart. Big whoopee. That's why I kind of do like walking downtown Brownsville a bit more. Far more walkable. Also, I feel like there's much more things to do. That's walking distance. Here, you have to have a car. I mean, it's not bad. I mean, most students here on campus do have a car, but it's just kind of like, eh, do you really want to drive everywhere? It's already expensive just to buy gas. But that's just me though. So yeah, so I'm gonna have that class, two classes there, and I think I'm doing another class, or if I'm gonna speak with my professor, if I want to do my thesis option already, I might go the thesis route. I'm still trying to figure out what I want to write my thesis on. Definitely more on Mexican politics, but I'll look into that. I'll definitely have to look into that because it's a lot of reading, and also the professor I probably would want to work under is very crunchy with numbers. So I'll have to polish up my stata skills, which I'm still working on. I'm still learning how to work stata. It's not an easy program to understand. It's like borderline computer coding. Is it fun? Yes. Is it actually? I find it a bit easier to use, slightly more than SPSS. It's a bit more hands-on, but I think the UI just feels cleaner. SPSS was just very like numbers all over the place. And I heard a lot of people online, they say they actually prefer Stata, which I'm surprised because it's a bit more difficult to use or to start learning how to use. But once you learn, it's actually pretty easy to actually crunch numbers on um, than SPSS. So yeah, I'm gonna have to do those classes next semester. It's kind of weird. I think I'll already be graduating, hopefully by next December, with my master's degree. I'll be 23. Yeah, I'll be 23 already by then. It's kind of weird to think about it. I've been there at the front campus for like 4 or 5 years already. 4 years actually. Since wait, let's see. I started college fall of 21. Yeah, like be like 5 years on campus. It's kind of cool, I guess. I don't know. And we'll listen to talk about the next two tracks we'll be playing. We're going to be starting off with Alex G with the track "Guilty," and then we're going to segue into some calm ambient music with the track "An Arc of Dubs" by Harold Budd and Brian Eno. I've been listening to a lot of Eno music as well. And Harold Budd, I mean, I love his music and the band works. There's that one track that I like. Pavilion of Dreams is that track. I think it's the opening track. It's a very calm, jazzy like sound. Really beautiful. If you ever get the chance, definitely check into that. But and you just heard on Arco Doves by Harold Budd and David Brian Eno. That was off the album Ambient 2. I think I still prefer Ambient 1 music for airports. It's a bit more calmer in my opinion, but sounds good. I do like Harold Budd's contributions, but I think there's that third one, Ambient 3. It has what's his name? Larage? I forgot how to spell how to say his name, but he is a independent musician, which I like. He's more of a soul sound, which I like. It affects very well Brian Eno's ambient noise or sound, however you want to classify that as. Um, what did I say about earlier? Classes. I was gonna say something about like taking classes, and I said about Brownsville. It's kind of weird now thinking about it, like I'm a college student. I keep having to remind myself that. You know what I'm saying? I woke up kind of not fully late. I think I woke up at around 9:15, and usually for me, I have an alarm on my phone, which my alarm is a sound. It's just basically like the free jazz electric era of Miles Davis. It's very loud, very awakening. It do like a 70s sound. And it actually scared me. It's like, oh, also like, oh, geez. It's like, oh, wake up, wake up, wake up, that kind of stuff, which I think it's really good. I just love Miles Davis in general. What was I going to go with this? Listeners, listen to more jazz music. That'll be like my main key takeaway point. Listen to jazz or more respect like the avant-garde jazz artists. Those are really out there. I mean, yeah, I mean you have Louis Armstrong and whatnot, but like come on, like everyone's heard that track. Listen to something obscure. Listen to some Ethiopian jazz. You know, I'm a white guy. I'm a 22-year-old white guy. I don't play around when it comes to Ethiopian jazz. I like collecting that stuff. Very good stuff. If you ever get the chance, definitely check out the Ethiopics compilation albums. There's an old video. I think it was like on Amoeba Records where they took Eric Andre record shopping about like one of those Ethiopics CDs. I have a couple of those in my collection. I need to find them. They're in a couple of boxes and whatnot. So when I moved there to a house, different houses a few years ago with my family. I should get into them. Anyway, let's get into the last two tracks for today. We're gonna start off with Slant with Train, and we're gonna finish it off with Geese. So yeah, geese are weird animals. I saw one once as a kid, and it scared me because I had to run away from it. That was kind of like my main nightmare thing. You heard geese. As I say constantly, if you haven't, check out the new Geese record, Getting Killed. I think it's definitely going to be one of my favorite albums of the year. Also, I think if you haven't listened to Cameron Winter's album, Heavy Metal, which is indeed not heavy metal music, but it's more like singer-songwriter. If you're into like Leonard Cohen, I feel like you would like that. I am a big fan of Cohen. And I guess if you're a fan of Towns Van Zandt as well, I guess you'd fall into that. Let's see. Final thoughts of the day. Those rice cake snacks are disgusting. I never liked those. Even with peanut butter, they still taste bad. And that's something I will die on a hill for. Anyways, listeners, as always, this week's playlist will be available on Apple Music and Spotify. You can find me by following me on Instagram at watford.jpg. Let's say I do on Apple and Spotify Music. As always, support independent radio stations, independent artists. And go to a noise show if you haven't. It's very weird. You're gonna go into someone's basement, or you're gonna go. No, listeners. As a challenge, go see your friend's band that the dogs spat on. You know what I'm saying? Go really independent. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Anyway, listeners, that's it for me. Remember, you're listening to Vaquero Radio, the Valley's only student station. Bye bye.